Nobody wants President Newsom either. Nobody believes in that guy. That guy con man. Everything he did in California, from trying to mandate vaccines for kids to being caught public without a mask and lying about the fact that he was outdoors.
Yeah.
Nobody believes in that guy. He's just a politician. Just a stone cold, narrative driven politician. Nobody thinks he's a real human. Whether you like Trump or not, whether you think he's corrupt or not, that's a human being. You know what that guy is. Same thing with RFK Jr. Whether you believe that he's correct about vaccines or whether you believe his policies would be effective, and you know that's a human being. With Newsom, you've got like this construct, this cardboard cutout of a person. I don't think people...
What happens when Gavin Newsom's ego clashes with Joe Rogan's unadulterated honesty? Such a savage political roasting would bring California to its knees. Rogan turned Newsom into a live TED Talk on failure, complete with hypocrisy, Botox, and delusion. This was not a conversation, it was a demolition. Newsom brought a water cannon and a gallon of hair gel to a flamethrower war.
When Gavin Newsom talks about California, he's like, you know, I'm very big on California, very bullish on California. Hey, they're all moving. The only reason why they don't move is because it's too difficult to move. It's too expensive to leave versus all the bullshit with all the permits and all that. It's too expensive.
Gavin Newsom's political career is the human equivalent of a smoothie made entirely of kale, smugness, and vacuous campaign slogans. The man looks in his mirror and gives himself a standing ovation when he wakes up in the morning just for existing. California somehow manages to step on every legislative rake that is sitting on the grass of progress as it floods, burns, taxes itself into a coma, and all of this is happening. Introducing Joe Rogan, podcast guru, elk meat enthusiast, and walking lie detector test. You know it's terrible when even Joe, who previously gave a 3-hour tirade on the benefits of sauna treatments, thinks you're the clown worth burning.
Well, the whole state is just so poorly managed. It's so frustrating and confusing, and then he gets on TV and pretends like everything's great. Mm-hmm. And California's the best. We have the best state. We have the most amazing economy. And like, you're out of your mind, dude. You've ruined this state. Like, personally ruined it.
California is the VIP region of the US, and Gavin behaves as if he is the velvet rope. He looks like a game show host who decided to become a governor after straying onto the Senate floor thanks to his unusually gelled hair and naive zeal. Meanwhile, the largest towns in his state are all only a pothole away from being archaeological dig sites. But really, who needs functional infrastructure when you can host a sustainability summit with quinoa sliders?
Did you see the governor talking about what to do with the land of all these homes that have been burnt down? And he did this little dance, like
some ideas around some land use concerns he has around speculators coming in, buying up properties, and the like. So we're already working with our legal teams to move those things forward.
With a big smile on his face. Look at the little wiggle he does with his shoulders. These people lost their homes. A lot of those people don't even have fire insurance because the fire insurance pulled out of California. Like, it's all insanely mismatched.
When Joe Rogan observed this catastrophe, his immediate thought was, all right, let's dismantle this hologram of competence. It's like seeing a grizzly bear quarrel with a Starbucks barista who thinks vibes are a rule. It seems that Gavin's answer to homelessness is to make it invisible whenever a tech conference comes to California, despite his efforts to convince the world that the state is the promised land. He sees every decaying pavement as a sign of inventiveness and every tent city as a vibrant expression of community life. Is this a prank show, or is the state actually being run like a group project where the leader never showed up? Rogan practically begged, blinking twice. Let's talk about Newsom's economic philosophy as well. It appears to tax everyone until they leave or lose their capacity for enjoyment. He takes a purifying approach to economics. Though it typically only costs you money, it sounds fantastic.
Like a bizarre, I did enjoy affecting the election.
Dude, imagine. I can imagine.
I did enjoy it because I didn't want to. I did not want to get involved in any way, shape, or form, but it got so weird.
Yeah,
crazy.
you'd express that publicly in the past.
I was like, I don't want to have nothing, and I don't want to have anything to do with it in the future. I didn't want to. I just felt sucked into it. I'm like, like we can't do this again. We can't do it with these same people that us for 4 years, and then they're gonna we're gonna do it differently now. Like what's going on? Did you see what's going on? Obviously, you've seen what's going on in California. But the governor gave this creepy fucking speech where he was talking about...
Newsom boasts about being green while his state runs on blackout, and pipe dreams he banned gas lawnmowers during raging wildfires. Rogan barely had to try one head tilt, and a jab about reason and vacations torched the whole agenda. Then came Gavin's pandemic hypocrisy, locking down the state while dining maskless at a luxury restaurant. Rogan, armed with research and sarcasm, exposed the contradictions like a detective on vitamin D. Every virtue signal from Gavin was met with Rogan's fact-based verbal chokehold. Then there is the exodus of individuals. While people are fleeing California like a cruise ship taking on water, Gavin is the one trying to fill the hole with campaign flyers. Meanwhile, Rogan moved out of state, packed up, and basically delivered the podcast equivalent of the digital middle finger. He didn't just move. He set off on an intellectual journey, not in silence, but out of madness. He dragged Gavin's whole policy portfolio with him, like a confused raccoon dragging a trash can into the woods. Please, California education. Newsom treats the school system like a Pinterest board. Although there are many high aspirations, they are seldom implemented. Although they are unable to do long division, students are graduating with the capacity to write an equity thesis. When he pointed out that California's criminal justice system had become the Chuck E. Cheese of deterrence, Joe Rogan, who spoke to astrophysicists and former Navy SEALs in the same hour, lost his temper. Rogan's viewpoint: if the punishment for returning a library book late is harsher than the penalty for stealing from a Walgreens, maybe the system needs to be restarted.
You see what Gavin Newsom said to him?
No.
Pull that post up, Jamie. Gavin Newsom said that you shouldn't be posting this. That we're going to make it illegal, and I'm going to sign a law. And he said, "Professor suck."
Didn't.
Yes, he did. Yes,
Elon
he did.
said that to Gavin Newsom?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. I checked with renowned world authority Professor Sug on D's nuts, and he said parody is legal in America.
Gavin Newsom's personal brand feels like a political Instagram filter over polished, fake, and rehearsed. He struts around with rolled-up sleeves like he's about to fix a car, but can't fix the state. Joe Rogan, raw and unfiltered, tore through the facade with one phrase. While Gavin relies on photo ops and task forces, Joe's honesty hits harder than elk jerky.
What do you make of what Gavin Newsom is doing right now with this podcast? Because I've said I'm against conservatives going on his podcast because I think it's helping him train for 2028. Yeah, I don't think we should help him.
I agree completely. I didn't think that. Obviously
he's strong. Gavin Newsom's not strong. He's French Laundry. He's too pretty. He's too needy of the good opinion of people like Charlie, who I love. But as a Democrat, you shouldn't be looking for approval from Steve Bannon and Charlie Kirk. He's a little too effete.
California's transportation system is $1 billion disaster high-speed rail that moves slower than a DMV line. Rogan laughed at it like it was a pitch for underwater toasters, and when things fail, Gavin dodges blame like he's playing dodgeball with lawsuits. Buddy, you are the system, Rogan quipped, pointing out Newsom's long tenure and zero accountability.
He is smart to start this, and the reason he's smart to start it is because he has no muscles, Emily. None. He's a sinewy little weakling when it comes to arguing any of these issues, especially cultural issues, because he, like all liberals, has never had to do it. So now he's trying to get his training, which is smart on his part, and it would be smart on the part of conservatives to say no, because they declined to help him get in shape before the big bout. We're supposed to be helping Rocky, not Drago.
Gavin pitches climate solutions with hashtags and recycled wine bottles, while spouting logic Rogan called more confusing than flat earther. Theories: Newsom acts like a misunderstood genius in a bad indie film, but Rogan slices through the doublespeak with verbal precision.
Manhattan is 14,000 acres. In LA, at least 17,000 acres have been burned to the ground. have been eliminated. I heard somebody saying it looks like Mars. Like it looks like the surface of Mars now, just burned embers. An area bigger than the island of Manhattan. Think of if New York were just eliminated. It looks, forgive me, but it looks like a nuclear bomb hit the region. Just a huge swath of one of our most beautiful cities is gone. She's going. I don't know if she knows that. Gavin Newsom, same. You're effed. Stop telling us about the embers in your hair. It's over for you, my friend. I'm sorry, but your political career ended last week. Again, he's pretending like he doesn't know it.
Like a Cirque du Soleil performer, Gavin spins, deflects, and collapses under scrutiny. Rogan doesn't need to exaggerate. California's decline is visible. From rolling blackouts to a mass exodus of residents, the only thing Gavin's innovation leads to is a farewell ticket to Texas or Florida.
I tell you, I don't think Gavin Newsom is the great white hope of the Democratic Party. I really don't. I don't see it happening. Am I wrong? I realize he's got the widow's peak. That's in his favor. He's got the gravelly voice. I don't think I thought Bashir could do it because he's a blue governor in a red state, Kentucky. But the more I listen to him, the more I'm like, he can't do it. He seems pathetic and weak.
In the end, Rogan didn't have to take down Gavin. He did it to himself with bad policies, broken laws, and unchecked ego. Joe just pointed it out, and Californians nodded in the dark during another blackout. With record homelessness, high taxes, and mass departures, Newsom's legacy writes its own roast. He parades like a king without a plan, letting the absurdity collapse faster than California's wildfire budget.
What he found, put together after Newsom was out there claiming, never.
I hope we can really paint a picture in terms of our consciousness of how impactful this has been on the Latinx community. Latinx and Black communities. You've got politicians that are banning not assault rifles, but the word Latinx. They're not even serious.
That's so fun. Gavin, a simple Google search about yourself will serve you well before you make these sweeping claims. But on the same dishonest, disingenuous front, he tried to act like he's the reasonable one on the trans and the children issue.
Gavin still behaves as if he were giving the main speech at a global summit on planetary healing. But Joe had already spoken the eulogy, not just for Newsom's honor, but also for whatever paradise Gavin was living in, where ignoring basic infrastructure, raising taxes, and banning all entertainment is all seen as a sign of progress. Rogan's roasting wasn't mean. It was kind to let someone know they were nervous before appearing on national television. But the spinach in this case was a governorship that utterly failed. This was the joke, and Gavin simply kept smiling as if he's the only one who doesn't see that the emperor is nude and is charging you extra for the observation. The same unyielding Zoolander smirk.